to our people, to black people. And of course, a country that does that creates these types of symbols. Of course it does.
Hi everyone, this is Dmitriy Balkovskiy with an update on Russian statue wars. Last summer, the whole world saw that statues can be still very controversial, and Russia is no stranger to statue wars as well. And at the end of February, Muscovites were supposed to decide the fate of one such very controversial statue. And I'm talking about the statue of Felix Dzerjinskiy, which stood right in the middle of the famed Lubianka square from 1958 to 1991, when it was torn down by Muscovites during the attempted communist coup. And it used to stand right here in the middle of Lubianka square, and Lubianka square is surrounded by the former KGB, now it's FSB buildings. All these buildings are the Russian Special Forces headquarters. And my Western viewers would be interested to know that this vote was initiated by a group of Russian left-wingers, but they are Russian left-wingers, so they are extreme social conservatives and left-liberal economically, if we're talking in American terms. Felix Dzerjinskiy, born a Polish nobleman, was the founder of ВЧК, Всероссийская чрезвычайная комиссия, which later became NKVD and later KGB, the Soviet secret police. He was also called the Iron Felix because he was very conscientious and honest and cared about the working people. And here he can be seen with his comrades, those famous leather overcoats. The spirit of this world-famous organization is best conveyed by the quote of one of Dzerjinskiy's associates, Latsis. By the way, both he was not Russian, he was a Pole, and Latsis was a Latvian. Latvians and Poles were very active during the Russian Revolution. The old foundations of morality and humanity do not exist for us. We are destroying the bourgeoisie as a class. During the investigation, we should not look for proof that the accused acted in word or deed against the Soviets. The first question you should ask is to which class he belongs to, what are his social origins, education, or profession. These questions should decide the fate of the accused. Dzerjinskiy organized the Soviet system of judicial murder and concentration camps. He is responsible for destruction of the cream of the crop of the Russian nation, of old Russia, nobility, merchants, clergy, and military officers. So Muscovites were given two options. The first was the infamous Night of the Revolution with bloody hands, but the second one was eminently worthier. He was 13th century Russian prince Alexander Nevsky, who fought Germans and Swedes on the ice of Lake Ladoga. And here is a small fragment of the Soviet portrayal of what happens when foreigners come to town, come to conquer and subdue Russia. This is the 13th century, I repeat. It's a bit of a caricature because it was filmed in 1938, but still, it's quite It's quite telling how Russians often see the West. So the vote went on for several days, but then it was cancelled by the Moscow mayor Sobyanin, who declared that the Lubianka square would remain unchanged, empty, with no statues, so as not to sow discord. The preliminary results were 45% for Dzerjinskiy and 55% for Alexander Nevsky, but the vote was moving towards Dzerjinskiy, so I would think that it was cancelled because the victory for Dzerjinskiy would have been seen as an embarrassment for the Kremlin. And of course, Russian conservatives and the Orthodox Church considered a possible return of Dzerjinskiy to his former place as an act of subversion and undermining of Russian national history and roots by Western liberals and the Russian communists. I would imagine that for the Western audience, a relative popularity of Dzerjinskiy would come as an unpleasant surprise, but such are realities of a fallen empire, my dear viewers, my dear friends.